Hey everyone, I'm here once again with another Second Life's Travels video. Today we're taking our return trip for this year to Village of Shadewell, a Halloween attraction for Second Life's Top Haunted Places Tour and Hunt that I and 3 other people worked on. We made this last year as well, but I pretty much think of this one as being the better version, as we had a year to gather more material and have a better understanding of how scripting and placement works. So this year we also have a table of contents, and we have a different set of prizes as well. We have a set of paintings for our parcel prize, and we have a special prize for the hunt item. Anyways, we've changed how things look quite a bit this year. Some rooms completely redesigned. Some areas changed dramatically. This lighthouse is more or less just a showing, just for show pretty much. We don't have much here in this lighthouse. You can see our neighbors over there. I'm more or less going to be rambling a bit off here, as I didn't have anything particularly planned in talking about. And we also have the moon over here this time. It was originally over by the mansion itself, but it had to be moved, as this parcel we're on is actually a middle coast parcel. The one we had originally was a corner parcel, which was ocean on the right and bottom sides, while we only have ocean on the bottom side of here. So we did have to change a little bit because of that. We also had a bit of trouble trying to find a place that would actually allow us to have the terrain modifications and not so strict height restrictions and stuff like that. It took us a few days to find anything for that, as most places have like a height restriction of, if you're going to do something on the ground, you can't have this towering mansion over everything else. As most places kind of, if you're going to have a parcel, you're probably going to be up in the sky, as the ground tends to be a bit laggy anyways. But here we are at our first building. This was here last year. It hasn't changed much, this boathouse, this storage shack. Last year the video I made was quite dark, so I actually have an avatar here that has a light in its hat, which will allow us to see a bit better than it was in my last video last year. Here we're going to see our first particular change in room design. Here we have some chairs. I believe those were out last year. flower pot right next to him. This place had quite a bit of a redesign in how the area looked, all rustled up and whatnot. Some of it's the same props, some of it isn't. Our first note here, our page, is still inside the clock. So let's go ahead and grab that. Here's our first page. I'll let you have a chance to read that. And our prize. These are paintings of an artist that I don't quite know how to say their name. But we have 10 paintings, and they're like a surrealist artist does more creepy work, so ultimately we thought these were better prizes than what we had last year, which was a lot of random stuff that we had sort of just laying around that was full perm. We also have a Dulcimatic here, which you may remember if you've watched one of my previous videos on the arcade. That is an arcade item from Contraption. It's a music box that gives off a tune. This, I believe, might be one of the paintings that you get as a prize, but I'm not quite sure. Here we have the butcher shop once again. This one was also changed a bit. Have different props than we had last year. Some of it's the same though, like this corner over here. These knives are back from last year as well. And we have our second page here in the village. This year the pages were not as hard to find. This is in fact page 5 of 10. It kind of skips around a bit. This shack here from last year used to be the tentacle shack. It used to have tentacles that would pop up as you walked around in it. This year it's more or less a piece that was just here. I put out a crate for people to sit on, to sit by the window, but it was mostly that we didn't have really anything in particular to put in there, but it still served as a decent looking prop piece, so we kept it there. As the tentacles had a bit of a problem. And there's the new open sign for the inn. The inn, which was more or less a building that wasn't very thoroughly made, has a lot more detail this year. Actually, it starts to look like a proper inn now, instead of just having 2 beds in it. Sorry, I'm had something got in my throat. But one room obviously being the check-in room, and the other room being the bedroom you would stay in, instead of it just being 2 rooms of a bed and some candles in it. So it does look a bit more detailed than it did before. This is I think it's called a villa. I don't remember the name of it offhand. No, the villa is the building. I can't remember offhand what that is, though. I don't remember the exact proper name for it. It's just something that you sort of stand on, or another change from last year is that the outside of the mansion is almost completely changed, as it mostly became foresty. Originally last year we had it to where the right side of the mansion coming up was where you had some graves and also the hunt gift that we had. It was originally on the right side next to, I believe, a crypt. This year we have 1 grave here, but that's mostly it. And now we're going to get to the mansion, which has changed the most. As you can see, we have some statues outside of it now. This statue being broken. Nice shot of the village from over here on these steps, right up against the mansion. More paintings. This area around here hasn't changed much. Except for a few new things. The broken chair makes a return. Actually had to fight for it to stay. As it was going to be replaced, but we didn't find anything actually for it to be replaced with that would make a bit more sense. We also have the changing paintings still around, although some of them have been replaced for spots of paintings that are normal, like the one in the lobby. This area actually hasn't changed much at all. It's still a lounge area that has furniture that's covered in cloth. Yeah, my textures are going bad already. There we go. Well, I don't think a fireplace is supposed to be like that, but okay. We have our dining room here. And the kitchen has changed quite a bit. Some of the regular textured counters are gone. Instead replaced with mesh shelves and stuff like that. As one of the problems we had last year was that we started to run out of room for things because we were using bulky prim items that took up a lot of land impact. This year we've used a lot more mesh material. And we have a few more things out and about here. Still have the oven and this thing, which brings up our ghost friend. In fact, most of the skeleton ghosts that we had have actually been replaced. I think there's maybe 2, maybe 3 in here instead of like the 6 that were in here last year. This fireplace is freaking out as well. Not sure why. There we go. And the page that was in here has been changed from being strapped to the bottom of the table to being right on top of the table. As this page was actually probably the hardest one to find. Originally, when I went through this house last year, it was the only page that I really could not find, as it was in a very odd place compared to where the other pages had been. Alright, time to head in this room. This room's seen much of a change as well, although our music thing here, I can't pronounce the name exactly, Orchestron I think it is here still. We have some more lounge chairs and some bookshelves, although the bookshelf that was here last year is still here. And the page is still located here as well. That's weird, I can see band lines over there. We got another portrait here. I think that about concludes everything that's up here on the bottom floor. We do have one more thing down here, but that's not until the very last thing to do, which is down this hole here. So let's go ahead and head on up. We have here some more animated pictures. This one of a cat. Another additional portrait. This room has changed dramatically, as it's become more like a guest room than anything. Oops, I forgot. This one has a special sit spot. We also have a ghost hand that comes out here, as you can see. Originally there was another bed that had this that was in the room next to me, but it's been changed a bit as well. This room has been changed more into something similar to a master bedroom. Originally, this room was like a guest bedroom or like a child's bedroom. That frame rate drop from particle spam. But I have become a bat. Too spooky for me. And here we have another room that has a page in it. This is the bathroom. Hasn't changed a whole lot, although I don't remember if there was a page in here last year or not. page 6. This room, the lab, has seen a few changes as well. It's a lot more detailed out. Got some shelves here now that has various jars of things on it. Flyers, bookshelves of vials and books and whatnot. And we have another page here. And a severe dog head. Page 7. Alright. Originally this page was not on the table, it was behind the chalkboard over here. But that was changed as that was kind of a bit too hidden as well, like the one at the psychic's table downstairs. This room used to be just a whole lining of the tables with the cloths over it, but now there's a pile of bodies in there as well. This door has changed quite a bit. Behind this door is 2 unused rooms that we never used last year because we ran out of room. Originally, we had just a skeleton that would pop out of the door at you if you got too close. But this year it changed quite a bit, as you can see. It actually has quite a cool effect. This picture we've already seen downstairs. This one over here changes as well. And now we're at the top floor again. This I would classify as the attic. A lot of storage space here. Also a coffin. The spider room's changed quite a bit more too. It's gotten a lot more detailed. Got some eggs. Got somebody hanging up from the corner over there too. Got another page down here, the elusive page 4. And this room was changed completely. Originally it was just a dumping ground for burnt bodies. But now it's become a full-fledged trophy room. Some items were recently replaced with other items from an event that went on this month, which was Tag, which was a gacha event. Let's go ahead and head upstairs onto the roof. As there was originally a page stuck to the glass pane of the roof up here, it's actually, in fact, over by this telescope now. Which this telescope is actually a prize that I got from Mad Peas the Greenmeyer 2. Page 8, we're getting quite close to the end here. Alright. There's one final area of this house at this point. Which is behind this door here. Which leads us to a redone library here. In fact, this is almost entirely redone. The only part that's originally from here is the corner bookshelf. The corner bookshelf that's having a bad time trying to load up. And there is in fact a secret room behind this here. Texture seem to be wanting to have some trouble with me here. some of the flyers laying about here. Yeah, these are just a bit too hard to read overall. And here is another page, along with a key. It is page 9, the second to last page. So ultimately, where is the last page at? Well, you need this key. Originally, we had a dungeon area underneath the staircase on the first floor that you could get to very easily. But now you in fact need this key to actually get there. As without the key, you'll just get a notice saying that you can't open it. Oh, almost forgot to pick up the key. That would have been dumb, but... I was just talking about it too. That's kind of... So that's the message you would get if you didn't have the key in your hand. So let's go ahead and put it in our hand. And now we've made it to the final area. The dungeon. And the final page and the hunt gift is, in fact, in here. And that concludes our visit to Shadewell. You would pick up our prize here. And ultimately, probably, if you're watching this and only heard of this now, it's likely too late to come here, as we will be closing on November 1st, and here's our prize. A death mask of our main character. Let's see if I can shine a bit of light over here. And I hope you enjoyed our visit to Shadewell. Perhaps it'll make another appearance next year, perhaps something new. Who knows for sure? But I will bid you adieu until our next video. Happy hauntings.